Salutations, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Kian Sky, and I am an 18-year-old trans guy. Haven't been able to say that in a video yet, but I am officially 18. So basically, it's been a while since I've uploaded. My whole plan was to do like a singing challenge throughout the month of June, and this video is just going to be me updating you guys on a lot of things that have happened and just things that have been going on in my life. So this is just an update. Also, please ignore the fact that I am in my bed and ignore the fact that I am not wearing a binder because it is 12:21 a.m. So yeah, that is my life right now, but basically, and now my alarm clock is buzzing, so that's not going to be annoying at all. Fixed it. Okay. This is going to be uncut, uncensored, on everything, because I do not want to edit, and I edit a lot, and I don't want to do it anymore. So yeah, as you can see, this video is different quality because I am on my computer. So that is one of my updates for you, is that I have graduated high school. I graduated an honor student, so that's pretty exciting. And one of the perks out of me graduating in general is I get to keep my computer. So yeah, that is update number 1. Update number 2 is that I turned 18. Let's see, today is Friday. So it was a week ago yesterday. It's still Thursday to me, so it's in my mind it's still a week ago. Also, I have sprained my ankle, and I am in a lot of pain still. I sprained my ankle at my party, and it's been, that was on like the 13th, and I'm still in pain. It is still severely swollen, and it hurts whenever I sit down crisscross applesauce, so that is why I'm sitting weirdly. That's why I'm like leaning off to like the side and stuff, because I have just my like sitting and chilling like that, and you can see the swelling is still there, and some of the bruising is still there as well. So that is my other update. One of the more exciting and less depressing updates that I have for you is that I'm not sure if I've told you guys this yet, but I have gotten into my dream school. I have framed my acceptance letter. I got into Odessa College in Odessa, Texas, and I am leaving in, let's see, today is the sorry, I'm like looking at my calendar so that I can count them. Today's the 26th. I leave on the 29th of next month, so I leave in a month and 3 days. And I have my party in exactly 1 month. And my party is basically just going to be my 18th birthday, graduation, and going away party rolled all up into one. Which, thank God, my parents are paying for that, because I do not have the money for that. Another thing, is that since I last uploaded, I have gotten and have been fired from a job. Basically the whole thing with that was, I worked at Long John Silver's, and I won't talk bad about Long John Silver's like as a business, they're a good business. Just one of the managers, I worked with her before. Basically, I worked with her whenever I worked over at Arby's, and me and her, we had a past, and we were on good terms. We were all good. We were friends as far as I knew. And then she hired her cousin. And, I won't talk bad on her cousin. Because me and her cousin, we used to be friends a while back whenever I dated Des. And you guys would know whenever that happened, which was a long time ago. And basically I met Preston through Des, and I'm using real names because I don't care. Basically I met Preston through my ex-boyfriend Des, and we haven't talked in about 3 years at this point. And so whenever he got hired, I realized that I knew him because of Des, and we started talking about him and reminiscing about old times whenever we used to be friends, whenever we used to live really close to each other and we never got to meet, and we always planned on meeting but we never did, and all of that. And so basically a fatal flaw that Preston had was that he did not know basically how to do his job. And, I'm not trying to be a bad person. I'm not trying to talk bad about him. But he just didn't know what he was doing. And I think that was because of improper training or not enough training or anything. But basically, the reason why I got fired is because it was on Tuesday. I was at work. And I was working a 5 to 8, which is just a 3-hour shift, and I was already 13 minutes longer than I was supposed to be there. But, that's fine because I just had to stock and clean and just do my regular stuff and get that done. But basically all day Preston had been mixing up the boxes, not putting the right food in the boxes and everything like that, because at Lone Lovers there's a meal box, which is a 5x5. There is a platter box, which is a 6x9, and then there's a family box, which is a 9 by something, but it's like a giant box for family meals. The platter box is a rectangle, and the meal box is a square. Simple as that. If it says meal on the screen, you put all the food in that meal box. The sides go in the side cups, and whenever it's a platter, you put them in the platter box. Sides go in the side cups. The thing about Preston is he did not... Whenever he saw a platter, he would grab a meal box. Whenever he saw a meal, he would grab a platter box. He mixed them up all the time. So whenever he couldn't fit all of the food for a platter into a meal box, he would grab a second one so that he could fit the rest of the food in there. And basically what had happened was I had taken this guy's order, and Preston had made the food, boxed it up, and the thing is, I only had one car at my window. I only had one car in the entire drive-thru. Preston brought me 2 bags. Now this guy, he just ordered a fish and chicken platter. I know it's weird that I still remember this, but it was like 3 days ago and I'm still pissed off. But basically what had happened was this guy ordered a fish and chicken platter, and Preston brought me 2 bags, and I'm like, okay, which one is it? One of them has 1 platter box and one of them has 2 meal boxes. And I asked him which one is it. He said it's this one, and it was the one with 2 meal boxes in it. So I said, okay, fine, just make sure that whenever you are boxing platters, you use platter boxes. He said, okay, I know I've been sucking at that lately, but I'll do better. So I asked the guy for his sauces, and I give him his sauces, and that's done. 30 minutes go by, and the guy's back, and so are 2 other people, because I had been handing out food, and apparently it wasn't the right food. Now, note, I had been just working at drive-thru. My job for that day was to take orders, make drinks, cash people out at the register, and give them their sauces and give them their food. My job is not to plate their food as well. It was Preston's job to be plating food, and it was my job to be handing it out and taking orders. I got in trouble because I had been handing out orders like I'm supposed to be doing, but I didn't check the bags to see if the boxes were correct. Whenever I had asked him if like this was the order at the window or if this one was the order at the window, he gave me the wrong order, so I handed it out incorrectly whenever I asked him what the order was in that bag. So basically I got fired because my manager was getting upset at me for not doing my job correctly whenever her cousin wasn't doing his job correctly either. So apparently it's my job to open up the boxes and double check right in front of the customer, showing them, hey, it's corona, we have the coronavirus going on. You see this random person opening up your food and making sure that it's right and then closing the boxes right in front of you. You see my problem. But basically, me and my manager got into a very big argument in front of like 3 people that were customers and in front of Preston and one of my other coworkers. And pretty much, she said, you know, like, you're gonna get in trouble and you're probably gonna get fired. And then I was like, I had already been putting up with her yelling at me over asking him simple questions and asking him what was in the boxes and asking him, like, if the orders were correct. And she had been yelling at me for that because I was questioning her cousin and I was trying to make him look bad. But I was really just asking him, did he do his job correctly? And then me and her, we got into an argument and I said, you know what, I'm done. I can't handle this anymore. I'm going home. She's like, fine, walk away. And I'm like, you know what, fine, I'm done. And then I walk out. I don't clock out. I grab my stuff and I just walk out the door and I basically said, fuck you, I'm done. And then I went home. And that was it. And then yesterday I texted my boss. I said, am I fired? She's like, well, you walked out of your shift. I said, okay, but I've had problems with her in the past, and she had been blaming me all week for things that her cousin had been doing, and you've never really done anything about it whenever you've seen it happening. And I'm just like, I just want to know if I'm out of a job or not. And she's like, you basically quit, so yeah. I'm like, okay, fine. So that's more news, that I have been fired from a dumbass job that I was only gonna have for like a month and a half. So, yeah. That was fun. But on a less serious note of, you know, not work-related problems, we moved into our new house. Please ignore my chicken arms. I don't like them either. I try to hide them as much as I can, but we moved into our new house. I'm in my room. I have my bear. I'm in my bed right now. Also, my parents, for my birthday, got me my Letterman jacket, which is literally the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It is my favorite thing ever, and I love it so much. I'm actually putting it on right now because it fits like a freaking glove, my guy. I love it so much, and it's so comfortable, and it's so soft, and even when I'm down in Texas, I know that it still gets cold down there, so I know that no matter what, I'll be able to wear this, because I know that inside the house I'll be cold, or whatever. Also, something that I haven't told you guys, is that whenever I go down to Texas, something that you guys might know is that my mom, my birth mom, she lives in Texas, and she didn't used to. We actually used to have a lot of problems, which if you guys go back enough in my channel, if you guys go back far enough in my channel, then you will see videos of like me talking about her boyfriend at the time, and just like I used to not have a good relationship with her, and But since those videos, she has broken up with him, and she has gotten engaged to a very wonderful man whose name is Glenn, and he has a daughter. And whenever I go down there next month on the 29th, they're the ones coming to pick me up at the whole plan is, like, we're gonna have my party, then 2 days later I'm gonna have my in-person graduation, then I leave the next morning, and then we're gonna be down there by the 1st. They're getting married on the 8th, and basically I'm gonna be unpacking and looking for apartments and stuff like that while I'm down there. And yeah, that's another thing that's going on is that I'm going to be at my mom's wedding. I'm most likely going to be walking her down the aisle if my papa doesn't get his head out of his ass, but and that's another video for another day. And that's pretty much it, I guess. I graduated and I'm 18 now. I'm going to get my name legally changed to Kian, which is very exciting because that is something that I have been wanting to do for the past 3.5 years almost. And just knowing that I'm 18 and I have control over my name and over my gender identity and over basically everything that has to do with me now, it is the most empowering thing that I have ever felt in my life, because I know that Sherry supports me, and I know that Glenn supports me, and I know that basically all of my family down in Texas that know about me, they support me. And I already asked my cousin whenever like I get my surgeries and everything, like, will you be there to like drive me home, and like will you help take care of me and stuff like that, because top surgery is a very, very long recovery, and it'll take a while, but it is something that I feel like I need to do in order for me to feel more comfortable in my body. But the whole process is going to be a very long and rocky road ahead of me, but I'm ready for it, and I've never felt like I've been ready for it until I was on the phone with my mom, and I basically said, hey, whenever I go down there, I want to know if you and me and Glenn, we can all go down to Pride together in Dallas whenever everything's back open. She's like, honestly, we were already planning on doing that. And I asked her if she would support me if I got my name changed. She's like, you are your own person, and I will support you no matter what you do. So, basically, whenever I move down to Texas, I'm going to get my name legally changed, and I'm going to get my ID changed, and I'm going to get my own place, and I'm going to go to college with my name being Kian in the system. And after about a year or two after I get my name changed, I plan on starting testosterone, then getting my top surgery, and then after that, we'll see where my life goes from there. But something that I want to say is that whenever I go down to college, I know exactly what I want to do with my life. I know that I've always said that I wanted to be an abuse and crisis counselor, because that is something that I want to be able to help people with. I want to be able to help people that are in my shoes and are going to be in my shoes and have gone through what I've gone through, or haven't gone through what I've gone through, and I just want to be able to help people is basically it. And I feel like the best way for me to do that, because all of my teachers in my past have been some of the most important people in my life. I know that I'm still in contact with one of my teachers from my freshman year, and some of my teachers from sophomore, junior, and senior year, and I know that they are going to be very important people in my life for the rest of my life. And I'm actually still in contact with one of my teachers that I had whenever I was in preschool and whenever I was in junior high and all of that. And so whenever like I am in college, I want to become a social sciences, which is basically sociology and psychology and stuff like that, and a social studies, which is basically a history teacher as well, because those are A, my best subjects, and B, something that I'm very passionate about, because whenever it comes to being a counselor, it comes down to understanding the mind and how, and like human behavior and stuff, and I want to be able to become a teacher, because I know that the teacher that I was a teacher's assistant for, he taught psychology, but I wasn't his TA for psych because I had a different class. I had choir. And I know that my sociology teacher, Mr. Woods, shout out to him if he's watching this, but Mr. Woods and Mr. Scarlett and basically all of my history teachers and everything, they have been some of the most important people in my life, other than probably Mr. Underwood. Mr. Underwood was my English teacher and my novels teacher my freshman and sophomore year, and I'm still in contact with him, and he's like my best friend, and I love him so very much. But yeah, that is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to be able to teach kids and help them, and I want people to I want to be able to help people understand how people work in general. I want them to understand that there are more than two genders, and I want them to understand the difference between sexuality, gender, and sex, and I want them to be able to understand that people are people, and that, if you are a living, breathing, talking human being, then you deserve a place on this earth, and that, X, Y, and Z aren't things that will define you. You do what will define you, and I want to be able to help people with that, because I know that for me personally, yes, I've had to go to therapists and counselors, but I've never had a personal connection with them like I've had with my teachers, and I want to be able to be that person for my students. So whenever I go down to OC, I want to be able to I want to at least get my associate's degree in teaching, and then I'm probably going to move on to a university or somewhere where I can get my bachelor's or even my master's, and yeah. I also might become a music teacher because, I don't know, I just love all my choir teachers. I love them so much, and they're my best friends. But anyway, that is my video for you guys. Sorry for the little tangents that I went on and everything, but this was basically just me updating you guys on things that are going on in my life, why I haven't been uploading a lot lately, which is because of college and work and decisions and life, basically. And so yeah, that's what's been going on with me lately. I hope that you guys are as excited as I am that I am going to be moving to Texas, even though I know that I've had my rough patches with my mom, but I think that me moving in with her again after living with my dad for so long and only knowing her to be with two people in her entire life, I only have known her to be with my dad, and that was for a very short amount of time, and then for the rest of that I've only ever known her to be with a person that has done very bad things to me, which I will talk about openly whenever I am ready to talk about that. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready for those videos, because I know that I am extremely excited to film them, because whenever I go down to Texas and whenever I'm having my party and everything, I'm going to like experiment more with editing and cinematography and everything. But yeah, those are my little updates for you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm making new videos eventually. I'm making new videos, and I will see you guys. I'll see you when I see you.